how would you define emotions, and how can you, I guess, modulate it or change it or modify it so that you can, I guess, so you can interact better with the circumstances?
Yes. So what are the emotions? Emotions are energy in motion. Energy in motion. That is emotion. So, say a thought came in your mind. Okay. Any thought that comes up in your mind. So every thought creates an emotion in our mind, in our emotional body, which is our second body. So a thought is coming in the mind, maybe from the past. So an intellect body is sending a thought into your mind. Intellect body is your memories, right? So from a memory, a thought about a past came into your conscious mind, and then that conscious, when you start thinking about it, it creates an emotion. Now emotion could be angry, or it could be a peaceful, a happy emotion. It's up to what kind of a thought it is. So then what do? The more we think, the more energy we are giving to that thought, right? So when we give more and more energy to one thought, what will happen?
You're reinforcing it, I guess.
You are reinforcing it, you are recreating it in your mind, you are reliving all those emotions. So say it was a sad thing that happened in the past, somebody left you or died, and then now you are very upset about it, right? So every time you think about that situation, you are going to relive that sadness, you are going to relive that unhappiness that you felt at that time, right? So that is giving energy to the same emotion. And when you keep giving energy to one thing, what will happen? It will become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So what happens? Eventually, it will come and manifest in the form of a physical thing.
Emotions is triggered by chemical reaction of your brain. How do you control that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not simple. If you're lucky, 12 change your life. It's a chemical reaction in your brain. How are you going to change
So
that?
how is the chemical reaction released?
By neurotransmitters, neurons,
Just change.
neurochemicals.
Simple as that.
How are they created? How are you creating those chemical imbalances, or whatever you may call it? Name doesn't matter. You are creating an emotion of unhappiness, okay? But there is always a thought behind that emotion, right? Otherwise you're not just unhappy, okay, I'm unhappy. There has to be one thought, okay, that's creating that emotion. So you have to look for that thought. What is that thought that's creating you unhappy? What is making you unhappy? Is it maybe my partner passed away, or maybe my partner left me, or she said something, which I don't like. So there is always a thought which is always creating a same emotion again and again. Now what is happening? Every time the thought comes into the mind, you think about it, that makes you sad, because obviously it's a sad thing. So it creates sadness and then unhappiness, and all that chemicals are released as a result of all the thoughts that you are creating in your mind. As the thought comes, then that emotion comes of sadness, and that's what releases the chemical. You can create a thought of happiness, and then a dopamine chemical will be released. So chemicals are not something that they're sitting in the mind. That is the name that's given, of your feelings.
Right.
That's what they have named it. Okay, now this chemical is making you unhappy. Dopamine makes you happy, and then there's another serotonin makes you happy. Then there's other name of a different chemical that's making you unhappy. But eventually you may give new names to it. It doesn't matter. The main thing is to understand how you're feeling, right? So you're feeling sad, right? So if you're feeling sad, what is creating it? That thought. Yes.
So you create the superficial happiness. That's not substantial.
No, it's not superficial and happiness. No, you're wrong.
Superficial happiness.
No, that I'm not telling you.
Sustains you.
No. What I'm trying to tell you is, look, when a thought comes and when the feeling is created of unhappiness, now you can keep on thinking about it. Look, it's your life. It's your experience. You can live in the unhappiness for the rest of your life. Nobody will say anything, and nobody cares. Similarly, you can, if you want to change the way you are feeling and the way you want to live and the way you are experiencing life, then you have to work on it. And whatever is making you unhappy, you have to remove it. Just like, for example, you're driving down the road, okay, and there is a big, what do you call those bars that block the road? You know?
A barricade?
Yeah, a barricade. Okay, and it's like in a zigzag manner. One block, and then another block. It's another barricade, then another block. Now, either you can keep doing zigzag while driving, or you can just stand still. You know, park your car and remove the barricades, and then drive straight. Up to you. How you want to drive. It's your life, your experiences. You decide whether you want to go peacefully or smoothly in your life without having too many of up and down, or you want to create all this upheaval in your life and enjoy. You want to be miserable, or you want to be sad all the time, because sometimes, you know, when you are so sad all the time, that becomes your nature. And then you enjoy that also. You feel comfortable in that situation, and then you think this is what it is. But then it is your life. If you are feeling comfortable and if you want to stay like that, that's up to you. If you want to change, that also is up to you. Nobody else can come and change inside your mind. You only have to work in it. And I can only tell you the way to work towards it. I cannot go inside your mind and change it. I can only work on my own mind. You know, I cannot work for anybody else's mind. So you are the master of your mind. So you have to decide what you want to experience. If you want to experience sadness, continue with it. If you don't want to experience, then you have a choice of removing it. So whether you call it is artificial, whatever you can call it work, whether you call it is just unnecessary labor, whatever it is. But once you start doing that practice, or even the meditation, you don't have to do meditation. What is it? Just sitting and connecting to the light. What is it doing to you? Nothing. Except it does raise your vibrations. It does make you feel better after you get up, right? So if it is making you peaceful, then you want to do it, continue doing it. You are doing it for yourself, right? Not for me. I am not experiencing what you are experiencing. When I do my meditation, I experience what I am experiencing. You are experiencing, everybody is experiencing something different. So it is up to you. If you want to experience that peace that comes with the meditation, then you have to sit into meditation. You have to work towards it. Just by thinking about it or saying, oh, it is no good, or talking about it is not going to change. You have to work into it. You have to. So similarly, if there is a thought that is bothering you and it is making you only unhappy, then if you want to entertain it, continue entertaining it. But if you think it is only creating unnecessary unhappiness in your life and making you sad and feelings of sadness, then it's up to you. If you feel you don't want to entertain it, then remove it. Mindfulness is the practice that you have to do to cleanse yourself out of those unnecessary thoughts. You know, so that way, when you start cleansing your mind out of the unnecessary thoughts, then you will see that your mind is also starting to get quieter. And the more quieter your mind is, the more peaceful you will feel within yourself. So when we accept the situations, that is when we can find the solutions towards it. First of all, if we keep fighting it and keep hankering after, why can't I get the same thing that was in the past? Change is the way of life, and the change is the only way to grow. That is the only way to grow. If there is no change, you will never grow. So if you want to grow, and the universe will keep and is constantly changing. They say with a blink of an eye, the things change in the universe. Just with a blink, with every second, everything is changing constantly. So you cannot stop that change. The only thing is for you how to respond in that change, how to accept that change, how to work with that change and make the best of the situation. Yes.